Hello everyone, Acto here, and today we're going to be going through modules that are very similar in concept: Wordle, Fillominordle, and Moddle.
All available experts, please report to room A9.
So Wordle is exactly like how you expect. It's the Wordle that's big craze nowadays. So what you do is you get a word. Bad example. You guess words, and then the yellow letters will mean the letter is in the word, but not in the position you put it in. For example, there's a I and a P in it, but not the I is not the second position and P is not the fourth, of course. So P. Okay, so now we know that P is definitely correct because of the green square, and we know that the I is not in the second or third now, and the L also exists in the word.
Emergency cleared. All personnel, please return to your stations.
Oh wait, that's a stupid guess, but it's just basic Wordle of guessing words until you get to the right word. So let's say you don't get the word, so I'm deliberately going to get the wrong word here. It would say you failed, and it will stop you for 30 seconds until it'll give you a new word. It won't be the same word as last time, so you can't cheese it. So normally on this countdown, you would, if you failed it, you probably would go onto a different module and do that whilst it counts down. But let's start it again now. Oh, here we go again. Okay, so we know the M is definitely the third position, and the O has to be elsewhere, and we know that the other letters do not exist in the word. In regular Wordle, it would tell you what letter you already used, but this one doesn't. So if you need to, just make the use letters table yourself. So we know it's something something, M something something. So okay, so we know that now know that we need to use a B and an O somewhere here, so I can probably work out the word's probably going to be jumbo. So we put it in, and if you guess the right word, the result. That's basically it. It's exactly the same as regular Wordle, apart from the fact that you don't give it the keyboard at the bottom. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is Fillominordle. It's basically so a Filomino is a sort of like a Tetris-like piece, but it's not like limited to 4 things. But the number it's made out of has to be accurate to how many pieces there are. So say this one, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces, and it's made out of 7s. That's effectively what a Filomino is. So, but the preference is the same as regular Wordle, but with numbered shapes rather than words, basically. So let's give an initial guess here. I like doing this guess because you get rid of. You can see if 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7 are in it. You press this button or enter to. I think you can press enter. Yeah, I think you can press enter. But yeah. Okay, so a bunch of yellow there, so we know that 7, 5, 4, and 3 have to be in it, but they weren't where we put them. 6 is nowhere in it, so we can note that down. We need 3, 4, 5, and 7. So my next thought would be doing the same construction I did on the previous one, but on the opposite side. Let's put you can scroll back and forwards to make sure you're not putting ones in places that wouldn't be smart to put them because you already know they're not going to be there. So let's put the 4 here. I think 4s weren't here before, yeah. And the 3 can go, say, up here. And then we can stick 1s here and 2s here. So now we get to find out how many 2s and 1s there are going to be. The 2s and the 1s are the more difficult ones to like pinpoint on your first guess, because the 1s normally just fill in gaps between shapes, and 2s are similar but less restrictive. So, right, so we now know that there is definitely a 2 block here. Some part of a 5 block is here, just not how we put it, so I'm sure it's probably going to be these 2 instead. Or it could be these 2. It's basically just trial and error. This is why you get 7 guesses, because it's basically just trial and error to see where stuff is. But stuff like this, it's almost guaranteed to be these 3, because you can't really connect anywhere else. Sure, it could be up around here. But if you could logic it out to work out what circumstances can't be the case. So let's just copy down the ones we already have. To make it easier to see what we do know. Since 3 can't gone that way, I'd be sure it's either this one or this one is actually a 3, and then one of these 2 afterwards has to be a 3. We can rule out this one from being a 3 because you can't really reach there in any circumstance. So let's try putting the 3s here. Since we can't put a 2 here, the 5s are more like probably going to be up here to remove that problem. What else do we not get? The 7s, let's go with the initial hypothesis we had, which was it's these 3. We could slip another set of 3 in here. Then we have 5 left. We can't put the 5s there, but we haven't used the 4 yet, so let's put 4s like this. And then we can stick the 1 here. So we're getting close now. We now pretty much have most of the board. Just have to clean up some small errors. So since we've got 2 wrong here, there's only 2 other possibilities. We know that the 4s have to take these places, and then the 3 and the 1 have to take up these 2 places. Because the 3's up here must mean that the 3 has to connect down here as well to make a 3-piece. So let's just copy it down again. If you type a wrong number, you can just click on it and then replace the number. So, as we said, the 1 down here and the 3 that was up here are where the 4s were meant to be. The 3's up here and the 1 is here. And after you've got it, similarly to Wordle, the module sells with a nice green screen here. This last one is more KTaNE based. So if you've been on the repo, you might have seen periodic table stuff. This is what you had to type into this bottom box here to guess a module, rather than the entire name. And it will tell you based on 5 different factors what you've gotten right, basically. We will have the contributors to the module. This is Moddle, by the way. As in KTaNE mods. The first square is contributors. This is anyone who worked on the module. So if you've got anyone who worked on the module, this one will have a tick, otherwise it will have an X. The rest of these can point up and down. So this one is the date it was released. If it points up, it means it was released later than what you guessed. And if it points down, it's released earlier than what you guessed. This is to fuse and expert difficulty, these two. Up means it's harder than you said. Down means it was easier than you said. And then this is Twitch Plays score, which is what is attributed. Do note that the only ones you can guess on this module are ones that have a Twitch Plays score. So there are some modules that aren't on Twitch Plays, like backdoor hacking or space. Those will never be the answer, well, until they get, if either of them got TP support, that is. So, a good idea for this module is to guess a module that's sort of midway through. You could use filters to turn off any ones that don't have Twitch Plays support, just so you don't accidentally guess them. This will be very useful but you might have to switch back and forwards to see like the date it was released or the contributors. But thankfully, there is a score thing up here, which I'm assuming is the Twitch Plays score. let's just guess something. My normal go-to is Burnout, because it's sort of midway through. You might have a better first guess, but apologies for that. So Burnout, you type in capital B N O, and it will show this. So we know that the contributor was wrong, or the contributor of this module in particular, that being Katarina and Wolfie78, did not work on the module that we tried to guess, and it was released later than Burnout, and it is easier than medium. So we can use these filters to take it down to very easy to easy and very easy to easy again, because if we know it had to be lower than that, and then we know the Twitch play score has to be lower than 9, which could have sort of been inferred by the very easy, but anyway, let's see what our current options are. We can probably ignore more recent ones now, since we know that actually it was later, so we can look at more recent ones. So let's go back into periodic table view to see what periodic table symbols we can have. So let's go for fishing next, because that has a lower score, but enough that if it's higher than that, we can then sort of center in on what the correct score is. Okay, so we now know that the diffuser difficulty is the same as fishing. So we know that for the diffuser, it's a very easy module. We still don't know if it's very easy or... Since it's very easy, we now know what the exact difficulty ranges are for diffusers and experts. So we know it's very easy. So let's... I normally focus on these two to get to the point where you can narrow down the amount of modules you have to look at. So now we're only on 93 possibilities, and we know that the score has to be less than 9 but greater than 2. So and it has to be released before fishing but after Burnout. So I probably need to quickly. So we can look anywhere before this. So anything after double digits, we know it can't be. So let's go for next in line. Okay, so we're centering in on the correct answer. So we now know it's one of these ones. We know it's not stuff like free password because that's only a score of 1. But we know it's between 9 and 5 now. Or 5 and 9, I should say. Similar to other Wordle variants, it's basically trial and error until you get to the correct answer. So we can look after next in line now for something that's in between. So let's say Simon supports. And heck, there we have it. It's a module. You get given 8 attempts for this, so you get given 8 attempts because there are a lot of modules on the repo at this point. About 1,500. But anyway, I don't think these really need an example. They are basically just variants of Wordle. Wordle is a website you can use anyway. Fillominordle is another website based on, and then Moddle is just a similar case. It's just guessing stuff until you narrow down to what the correct answer is. One thing about Moddle though is it won't include stuff like plus because it's a symbol, and it won't have 14 segment displays because that symbol is more than 4 characters. Like the limit ones are like number buttons ANUMB and literally something's SOME, but so like 40 segment displays. Actually, that's FFSD, so that can actually appear. Actually, apart from that, I don't think there's actually ones that are longer than 4. There probably is, and I just don't know about it. But anyway, I don't know if this is an example, so I'm just going to leave the video here. Hopefully, you now know how to do Wordle, Fillominordle, and Moddle. And I'll see you guys later.